Broadcasting from the ARN Racing Studios in Southern California, ARN Los Angeles. This is ARN, the American Racing Network. Now, you're Shifting Gears with Alan Bailey.
I really enjoy the smell of burnt rubber and race fuel in the morning. Sue me.
Whether it's NASCAR, IndyCar, NHRA drag racing, or AMA Supercross, we've got it.
I'm going to be unapologetic. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm going to tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. Get over it.
Grab a gear and let's go.
Well, it's time to go already? Really?
You're Shifting Gears on ARN. Here's Alan Bailey.
IndyCar up in a very shaky wine country, NASCAR in Thunder Valley, and oh yeah, drama, and an off weekend for the cars that actually do make thunder, the NHRA. Welcome on in. You're Shifting Gears right here on ARN, the Motor Sports Authority. I'm Alan Bailey. You can get in on this conversation at The Alan Bailey on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also use the hashtag ARNRace, and yes, the phone number if you want to use it. Don't know if we're going to take any quote-unquote quality calls, quote-unquote, tonight, but what the heck, I'm feeling adventurous. 720-600-RACE, that is 720-600-7223. Standard messaging rates apply if you do decide to call into the program. And if the lines are busy, I'm not saying it's because we closed the lines, but it might be. Welcome on in, nevertheless. Lots of interesting things to talk about over the course of the next hour. IndyCar getting ready for the World Championship race out here in Fontana, California. They're at the Auto Club Speedway actually right now. Practice, a test session that is going to take place in about 30 minutes or so. They're going to be hopping on into the cars. Teams are already in the garage area warming up their cars, rolling them out to the pit road in order to get going. A number of different vehicles out on track, or will be out on track out in Fontana, California. That is an open test session, so if you want, you can purchase tickets for Saturday night's MAV TV 500 at the Auto Club Speedway by logging on to autoclubspeedway.com, or you can simply go to the ticket office today at the Auto Club Speedway and they can get you set up with tickets like that as well. But a lot of interesting stuff happening today. The only thing that we can do to get it all sorted out for you is by starting with our hot topics. And we start with this late breaking news into ARN. We've learned that TurnerScott Motorsports suspending their truck operation. Yes, they were scheduled to head up to Canada actually today to get ready for the race this weekend up in Canada, north of the border. But we learned through multiple sources that the truck team is suspended and is in what is called a holding pattern, as a major shakeup apparently is underway at TurnerScott Motorsports. TurnerScott Motorsports in the Truck Series and in the Nationwide Series is owned by two men, Harry Scott and Steve Turner. We understand that Harry Scott and a number of investors of TurnerScott Motorsports flew down to Texas late yesterday in order to talk to Steve Turner about the way the team was being operated and ran. Apparently that meeting didn't go too well because they got the call earlier today, around noon actually, Eastern time, to halt. And yes, the trucks which had already left their race shop in North Carolina were told to stop, turn around, and come back to the race shop. Right now, those trucks are still in North Carolina in a holding pattern at this hour. We're hearing word that Henry Scott and a number of investors and sponsors currently working very hard to try to get those trucks up and north of the border in time for the race this weekend. We'll give you more information as it becomes available to us. And IndyCar making a big splash, the Indy Grand Prix of Louisiana. Yes, it's coming. The newly configured 2.67-mile road course on the Noel Motorsports Park will debut in April as part of the 2015 season. IndyCar, Noel Motorsports Park, and local and state officials made the announcement during a news conference today in Louisiana, about 14 miles southwest of downtown New Orleans. The IndyCar The Indy Grand Prix of Louisiana will be held on April 10th through the 12th and will feature 3 days of festivities leading up to what will be a very exciting race. The festivities include a number of Louisiana cultures, including live music, entertainment, and local cuisine, mixed in with the excitement of the Verizon IndyCar Series event. The race weekend will compete on the French Quarter Festival, a popular music festival held around the historic neighborhood in New Orleans. For more on this story, you can log on to arnrace.com. And yes, NASCAR also made a big splash yesterday, officially announcing the 2015 schedules for the Sprint Cup, Nationwide, and Truck Series, respectively. A number of changes were on the list, or on the docket, including a three-way swap, so to speak, with Darlington, Atlanta, and Bristol, moving Atlanta to the second race of the 2015 NASCAR schedule, moving Darlington back to its traditional Labor Day weekend, Southern 500 date, and yes, moving Bristol back into the month of April. One of the highlights include a 3-week stint here on the West Coast, which include races at Las Vegas, Phoenix, Arizona, and yes, right here in my backyard, ARN's backyard, at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, in the month of March of 2015. For a full list of the 2015 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, NASCAR Nationwide Series, and NASCAR Camping World Truck Series schedules, you can log on to arnrace.com, and you can click on the 2015 schedules under the NASCAR tab on your homepage there. Also, big news over this last weekend. Scott Dixon won over this last weekend in IndyCar, and what does that mean for the championship? Well, it means a lot of things, but it ultimately means that the IndyCar World Championship battle will head into the Fontana, Southern California area to the Auto Club Speedway. Will Power holding a commanding lead right now over teammate Helio Castroneves, but that's just 51 markers. Simon Pagenaud, 81 markers out right now. And Power did win the 250-lap race at Auto Club Speedway in October of 2013, his first victory on the superspeedway in that number 12 Verizon Penske car. However, an early crash in the 2012 season finale on the 2-mile over contributed to his runner-up finishes by 3 mere points to Ryan Hunter-Reay in the championship. He had held a 17-point advantage over Hunter-Reay entering the finale. So, if you're thinking Power has this thing wrapped up, it's not over until it's over. Power has never won an IndyCar World Championship, and he's looking to do it this Saturday night, actually, at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Like I mentioned earlier, you're looking for tickets? Go ahead and log on to the Auto Club Speedway website at autoclubspeedway.com, or go to the ticket office. Great seats are still available for the MAV TV 500 IndyCar World Championship finale this Saturday in Southern California. And yes, fans can head out to the IndyCar test that's going on right now out in Southern California. In order to do so, it's very simple. You go ahead and you head out there because there's going to be a lot of great things on the docket, and a number of great teams are out there testing. Most of the 2014 field that will be racing will be out at that event. I'll have that lineup for you a little later on in the program. But what I do want to tell you is, if you're looking for a brand new website, don't bother with these free website builders, because that just gets clunky, it gets bulky, and by the time you pay all the hidden fees and extras that you have to pay in order to get a professional looking website, you're paying thousands of dollars, and worse off, you're doing all the work yourself. Don't spend thousands of dollars for you to build your own website. Hire a professional for literally a quarter of that cost. Log on to apolloaesthetics.com right now for a quote in order to build your website. And yeah, they'll even do a rendering based on what you want your website to look like, so you can know up front if that's the website you want to build before they actually start building it and charge you money. Go ahead and log on to Apollo Aesthetics and apolloaesthetics.com in order to request that quote to build that website, set up your domain, set up your social media like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, come up with a logo for you, set up your email account, your hosting, and oh yeah, they'll actually show you how to update your website, and yeah, they'll even build you a shop online so you can start selling your product online. It's Apollo Aesthetics and apolloaesthetics.com. Tell them ARN sent you for a special discount and a special gift when you get your quote. It's Apollo Aesthetics and ApolloAesthetics.com. From the ARN News Desk, I'm Alan Bailey. We will talk IndyCar action as we get you ready for the finale this weekend in Southern California. Auto Club Speedway, MAV TV 500. We're previewing it when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're shifting gears right here on ARN.
This is ARN, the American Racing Network.
Okay, so let's say that you're trying to build a website for free on one of these website builders. You go ahead and spend hours uploading your personal information and all of the photos that you've taken of your products, only to find out that you can't bring a .com onto that website without paying a huge fee. And you can't remove those ads without paying a huge fee. And you can't remove all of those pesky "this website was built for free" buttons without paying a huge fee. By the time you've paid all these fees, you've paid thousands of dollars in order to remove all of these pesky ads. Why go through all the hassle? Why spend all of those hours doing it yourself? Go ahead and log on to ApolloAesthetics.com, not only to request a quote to build your brand new website and to see a rendering of what your website could look like, but in order to set up services like email, hosting, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram accounts, and a whole lot more. That is Apollo Aesthetics and ApolloAesthetics.com.
What is one NASCAR Unites wristband capable of doing? It can inspire a child to go farther in school. It can construct a brand new playground for kids who've never had one. It can introduce a child with a serious illness to his or her favorite NASCAR driver.
I'm Tony Stewart, and I wear my band to Unite for Kids. Band together with me by logging on to www.nascar.com/unites to pledge your support.
Hello fans, this is Bud Selig, Commissioner of Major League Baseball. I know firsthand about the dangers of skin cancer and the need to protect yourself because I am a skin cancer survivor. MLB, its clubs, players, and the American Academy of Dermatology want all of you to play Sun Smart. Protect yourself with sunscreen, sunglasses, and protective clothing, and visit your doctor regularly. For more information, visit MLB.com or playsunsmart.org.
Shifting Gears on ARN is presented by Stash Feed. Get the feed. Log on to StashFeed.com, your daily manly feed. Your Shifting Gears on ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Here's Alan Bailey.
The IndyCar, the Verizon IndyCar Series World Championship coming at you this Saturday night. It's the MAV TV America Rail 500 out at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. You want your tickets, you can go ahead and log on to AutoClubSpeedway.com. Believe it or not, they still have tickets for just $30. Plus, kids 12 and under are free, and yeah, you can actually get a pit and padlock pass, which they do still have, by the way, for as low as $20 right now. That's on AutoClubSpeedway.com, or you can go to the ticket office at the Auto Club Speedway. There is a test session happening right now, literally. Cars are going to be out on track in about 15 minutes here out at the Auto Club Speedway. You can still go to that. You can actually go into the infield, believe it or not, and you can hang out on the terrace suite rooftops, and you can watch that tonight, actually, at the Auto Club Speedway if you got nothing better to do, or if you're just looking to kill, a Wednesday night. Why not just go check out some racing? Why don't you? That's what we're going to do. At least that's what I'm going to do after I'm done here in the studio. Juan Pablo Montoya, Helio Castroneves. You have the 7 car of Mikhail Alish. You have Ryan Briscoe, Scott Dixon, Tony Kanaan, Sebastian Bourdais, Will Power, Takuma Sadu, Graham Rahal, Sebastian Saavedra, Carlos Havas. You have Justin Wilson, Ed Carpenter, Marco Andretti, James Hinchcliffe, Ryan Hunter-Ray, Carlos Munoz, Joseph Newgarden, Simon Pagino, Charlie Kimball, Jack Hayworth, all going to be out at the Speedway today testing their cars, their respected cars, tonight until 10:30 local time out here in California. It's going to be kicking off in about 15 minutes at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. if you want, you can go ahead and, well, if you've already purchased tickets to the MAV TV 500 on Saturday night, just go ahead and bring the proof of that purchase, and you can go ahead and get in for free. Or you can purchase any MAV TV 500 ticket by 8 p.m. local time tonight, and yeah, you can get into that event for free. $30 to get in on the race on Saturday, and you can go check out the test session tonight. Going to be very, very, very cool. I literally can't wait. I love going out to the Auto Club Speedway, and I don't just say this because it's the closest racetrack to my house. I really don't, because frankly, there's a couple of other racetracks in the area that I'm not big fans of, the tracks or the people. Not naming names, but Irwindale. But no, I look at the general area. But you look at the Auto Club Speedway. Truly, they have a configuration that 5-10 years ago, I was on the air 5 years ago, and I was saying that the Auto Club Speedway needed to tear up the racetrack. That was 5 years ago. Today in 2014. Leave it alone. I actually sat down with the IndyCar, or excuse me, with the track president, Gillian Zucker, and I told her in the interview 2 weeks ago, I told her on behalf of all race fans in Southern California, leave that track alone. And she said, no, you're absolutely right. I'm not touching it. And she meant it. And she told me off the record, I've never wanted to change this track ever since racing got really good. Before that, 5 years ago, she said, yeah, there were thoughts, there were discussions, but now, no. The track is perfect, in a word. Just absolutely and utterly perfect. And why mess with a good thing? That's the thought process behind this racetrack. And honestly, I'm of the same belief. I'm of the belief that, you know what? Why mess with it? Leave it alone. Let's just leave it alone. Because truly, it's a spectacular, spectacular racetrack. The area that it's in, frankly, the Fontana area, not the most gorgeous thing in the world, but I don't go to a racetrack for the area and the atmosphere. But once you get into the facilities, and once you get into the gate at the Auto Club Speedway, once you get into that parking lot, absolutely phenomenal facilities. Absolutely gorgeous facilities, come to think of it. And honestly, that's what you go for. You go for the facilities, you go for the atmosphere. You don't go for the awesome tattoo parlor in the business district across the street, or the wonderful steel mill on one side of the track, or the garbage dump literally on the other side of the track. No, I don't go for that. I go for the awesome racing on track. And the fact that it's been 90 all week tells me, no, rain's not going to be a factor, so nobody freak out about weather. The fact of the matter is, it's going to be an awesome, warm summer night in Southern California. Sun's going to be setting right around the time that we're halfway through this race. And yeah, it's going to be some pretty spectacular racing. We're going to be racing in the twilight. The sun's been setting around 8 o'clock or so, 8:30 or so locally for a while now. The race is scheduled to start right around 6:30, 6:45-ish or so. So really, we're going to get a fantastic race. Now, if you're going to ask me who's going to win the championship, I don't know. Because 2 years ago, I picked Will Power to win the thing, and Ryan Hunter-Reay came back and he said, you know what, no, I'm not done. And yeah, 2 years ago, I'll be honest, that was my first IndyCar race, was the finale at Fontana in the MAV TV 500 2 years ago. That was my first IndyCar race. I'm a NASCAR guy, but I've been watching IndyCar racing for the better part of a decade now, but I've never was sent to cover it. But once I actually got here, once I got to the American Racing Network a little under 2 years ago, wow, I was sent to cover that at the last minute. And I remember it because I was only on the job here at ARN. I was only employed at ARN for 2 days or so. I was actually still technically an employee of the old station that I had my show at, and it wasn't official. We hadn't put the press release out yet. My employment wasn't made public until November the next month, so I technically went and reported for ARN 2 weeks before I was on the job. It's kind of nuts. Even by broadcasting standards, it was very nuts. And I got out to the Speedway. I was with an ARN credential, and honestly, the Speedway was great. The atmosphere was spectacular. The fans were great. They were actually a good amount of fans in the stands. I didn't think that there would be a good amount of fans because IndyCar racing hasn't been in Southern California for a little while up until that point. And I thought, well, maybe there's going to be a lapse in fans out here. But no, Power went into that race with the points lead, and Ryan Hunter-Reay was right there. Power had some issues, and then here's Ryan Hunter-Reay, the American, who totally put us on edge, honestly. It wasn't like he just drove into the sunset and walked away with that thing. That was a bitter battle. It went down to the last lap, literally. And I remember I was standing on pit road in the pits of Ryan Hunter-Reay, and I was tense. I was very tense. My co-host, Ryan, was there at the time. He was co-hosting for me. He was co-hosting with me at the time. We were standing in the pits, and we were tense. We were sweating bullets with the rest of the organization. The rest of that team, they just stone-faced, and you could tell there was a few wives who were in the pits, and they were just face in their palms. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They couldn't deal with the emotion and with the drama, and we were the same way. I was sitting there freaking out. I was pacing. I was looking around. I had bitten all my fingernails off. I was on edge. It was exciting. It was thrilling. And oh, by the way, the guy who was leading the points going into that race was wrecked, and he was in his own pits and garage area waiting to see if he would lose the championship or win it or not. He's standing in the pits. He's just kind of, I couldn't get over that one. It was absolutely phenomenal. And 3 points were the decider. 3. 1, 2, 3. There's no chase reset like in NASCAR. In IndyCar, it start at the beginning, finish at the end. However many points you accumulate throughout the entire season is your total. The entire season came down to 3 points, a handful of positions on the racetrack. You're telling me that there's not maybe one race here, another race there where you could have gained a point or two? Oi! I felt for Will Power. I truly did, because to lose the championship the way he did, wrecking like that, I was heartbreaking, to say the least. And Ryan Hunter-Reay ended up capitalizing on it, and I gotta say, I've never been to an Olympic event. I've never been outside of the country in which an American won an event, let alone a race. But that was probably the most patriotic moment I've ever experienced in my life, because Ryan Hunter-Reay gets out of the car. He's wearing all of his sponsors' gear, but somebody drapes an American flag over his back, and he holds it up high, very proudly, and just kind of stands in front of it and basks in the moment as he gets out of that car. I was standing literally right in front of him when he was still in the car and when he stood up. I think I'm in a handful of photos, actually, and I'm just standing there, and I had a microphone in hand, but to be honest, it was down at my waist. I wasn't interviewing him. I wasn't going nuts. I was enjoying the moment. And what the coolest thing was the reporters in the area, the reporters, not the fans, the reporters in the area started chanting, USA, USA, USA. Next thing you know, every reporter, even ones that aren't American, frankly, there was a few press from overseas who were there, started chanting USA, USA, and it became such a patriotic moment. An American, for the first time in a long time, won the IndyCar championship. That's something that hasn't happened in a while, and the fact that Ryan Hunter-Reay did that in Southern California, first time they were racing that race at night on a Saturday night in Southern California at the Auto Club Speedway, that was such a dramatic moment. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite events of my life, and truly, it was spectacular. I'm going back to the Auto Club Speedway this weekend purely because I want to experience one of those moments. I want to experience a truly breathtaking, historic moment. I mean, last year was great. I was at the IndyCar finale last year too, but I'm sorry, nothing will compare to Ryan Hunter-Reay's victory 2 years ago. That to me is top 5 sports moments for me. Period. It's truly undescribable, the feeling being on pit road, in the pits, being on pit road when he pulled up. The fact that I almost fell into his car when a few reporters were pushing and shoving to try to get a better picture from behind me, that's something that I'll never feel. And, oh yeah, in case you're wondering, those tires are still very, very, very hot after he comes down pit road and lets it sit for 5 minutes. Yeah, those tires are still very hot. I think I still have a layer of skin that's on that tire, actually. It's very hot. Very hot. He was definitely using up those tires on that last run right there to try to get every point, and it paid off. 3 points, man. 3 points. Oy, oy, oy. But in case you were wondering, it was a very dramatic race, very dramatic finish. And, yeah, this last weekend that happened up in Sonoma, a lot of people were giving flack and were complaining about the fact, oh, well, you know, we had that giant earthquake up in Northern California, and they decided they wanted to still race it anyway. I don't appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. How can I put this delicately? The race must go on. I mean, I don't mean to sound insensitive or uncaring by any means, but the fact of the matter is, the show must go on. I mean, thankfully, there was no damage to the Sonoma Raceway up there or the area around it, but or the immediate area around it. However, up in Northern California, up there in Napa, California, there was significant damage. People lost their lives, and for that, our thoughts and our prayers go out to those families. But at the same time, IndyCar was in town. They had to get a job done. And by the way, just pointing it out, IndyCar wasn't the only one in town. You had the Angels that came into town that played up there. You had the 49ers who were playing up there as well at the time. So there was other sporting events going on. And oh, by the way, the Angels played later that day up in the Bay Area, and so did the 49ers. So it wasn't just IndyCar that was quote-unquote insensitive to the fact that there was an earthquake, one of the larger earthquakes that have happened in the better part of 25 years up in that area. No. It was a big earthquake, unfortunately, but and we're very sorry that it happened, and we're very sorry that it affected everybody up in the Bay Area like it did. However, we were still very self-conscious about it. We were thinking about it. Everybody was thinking about it. And yeah, the broadcast on NBC Sports Network started that way. It was very somber the way they started it. It's how we start this week's very first week, mind you. We do it, of course, with 2 races to go. We start this segment. What are you going to do? But nevertheless, it's how we start this new feature, IndyCar Remix, right here on ARN.
Few places on the planet are as picturesque and unique as Northern California. But the area also sits on one of the largest fault lines in North America, making it prone to earthquakes. And that is exactly what befell the Napa region at approximately 3:20 this morning, local time. Luckily, the facility here has escaped damage, and that's good news for Verizon IndyCar Series fans. Drivers, start your engines!
What an exciting day it is. Championship battle is underway. They head for the line. Green flag flies. Will Power got a big jump as he came to the line.
Big problem in turn number 1, midway back. And guess who it is? One of your points contenders, Elio Castroneves.
Green flag is out. Again, Power accelerates. They go almost single file.
And I've got around Hunter Ray. As a matter of fact, Hunter Ray now behind both Ganassi cars.
Elio Castroneves tries to drive towards his first championship, caught up in the first accident, and now I'm hearing it's the rear pod. They're going to cut something away. The championship slipping away right now.
Problems here at Sonoma Raceway for the number 18. This changes strategy.
Wow, the other guys didn't pit.
There's the green flag. They head for the first turn.
Ryan Hunter Ray to the bottom of Joseph Newgard. He is going to grab that third spot. And now contact. It looks like Sebastian Saavedra. I see the leader is coming to pit road.
Will Power's team drops the jack. This is going to be close. Scott Dixon wins the race off pit road.
Green flag waves, and look at Mike Conway. They go side by side up into turn number 1. Conway to the outside. He gets Tony Kanaan through turn number 1. And Will Power gets spun around. Will Power does a 360. He's lighting it up.
He's gone from basically
dominating the race from first to last. Graham Rahal makes a pass on Tony Kanata in turn number 7. Rahal leads him down through the S's. Look at Graham, he's all over the back of Mike Conway now. And we've got a race on our hand now. Going to make a move here, and he's got a power move, braking side by side, and Graham Rahal to the lead. National Guard up front.
Speed in this lap. All for naught, all for naught. We swung for the fences.
Dixon left the inside of Conway. It's time to go. Ryan Hunter-Ray now clears by Conway. Scott Dixon wins at Sonoma Raceway.
So pumped for the team, man. You know, it's a huge representation for Target this weekend, and it was awesome to put it in the #1 spot.
This is ARN, the American Racing Network.
In today's day and age where every phone has a camera in it, everybody thinks they're a photographer. Whether they're putting stuff online on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, they think they know what they're doing. But when it comes to hiring a professional photographer, you need someone with years of experience and the professional equipment that is necessary in order to capture a professional shot. Not a smartphone with some filter on Instagram. You need a professional with years of experience and photoshopping skills. There's only one place to go, and that's Self-Destruct Photography. Log on to facebook.com/self-destruct photography in order to check out their portfolio of work, plus get in contact with them to set up a date for your photo shoot. Whether you're looking to get some 8x10s done if you're an actor or professional, or if you're looking to get some family photos done to capture a moment forever, or if you need to get some graduation photos done that didn't turn out so great the first time around, or even if you're getting married, call my man Scott because he'll set you up. That's Self-Destruct Photography. Don't miss your shot with Scott.
The odds of having a boy who grows up loving baseball,
1 in 6.
Which earns him a college scholarship,
1 in 2,500.
that gets him a contract in the minors,
1 in 3,700.
which leads to starting shortstop in the majors.
1 in 290,000.
The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism,
1 in 150. You know the odds. Now learn the signs. Go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
What is one NASCAR Unites wristband capable of doing? It can inspire a child to go farther in school. It can construct a brand new playground for kids who've never had one. It can introduce a child with a serious illness to his or her favorite NASCAR driver.
I'm Tony Stewart. I wear my band to Unite for Kids. Band together with me by logging on to www.nascar.com/unites to pledge your support.
Shifting Gears on ARN is presented by Apollo Aesthetics. Log on to Apollo Aesthetics to start building your new website today. You're Shifting Gears on ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Here's Alan Bailey.
Hey Alan, when you go to the IndyCar test today, are you going to have your beer hat and nacho cheese dip? Or are you going caviar? Hashtag Fat Chat. No. Believe it or not, when I go to a place where I work, because it is my job to actually go to these races and to cover them adequately, I actually do work. I don't just be fat and American. Believe it or not, America, hashtag, I guess. I don't know. No, I actually, when I go, and by the way, if you're just joining us, the IndyCar World Championship happening this Saturday out at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. It's the MAV TV America Real 500 happening out at the Auto Club Speedway. And yes, there is a test session that's happening right now. Actually, they just dropped the green a few minutes ago in that test session. Going to be lasting until about 10 o'clock tonight local time. If you want to go to that, you can show your proof of ticket purchase for Saturday night's MAV TV 500, or you can go ahead and log on to autoclubspeedway.com, purchase your ticket there right now. Tickets as low as $30. Kids 12 and under are free. Or you can go ahead and go to the ticket office at the Auto Club Speedway by 6:30 tonight and purchase your ticket and then show proof of it for Saturday's race to get into that test session tonight. And yeah, you're going to be hanging out in the infield. It's not just go hang out in the grandstand, see you, bye, have a good one. No, you're going to be hanging out in the infield. You're going to be hanging out in the garage area. Not in the garage area, but right on top of the padlock right there, on top of the suites right there on the front stretch of pit road. Very, very, very cool. I love that track. I really do. I absolutely, absolutely love it. I truly, truly, truly do. It's going to be very cool, and there's another event, actually, that's going to be taking place on Sunday if you're in the Southern California area. They're going to be out at the Grove, actually, doing some stuff as well. So if you're in the area, less than 24 hours after the championship is crowned in Fontana, teams and drivers will be at the LA Live Entertainment Complex in downtown LA to celebrate the championship celebration. Fans are welcome to meet and greet during the red carpet festivities at 4 p.m. The party moves to the Electric Club Nokia, where drivers and team members will be honored during the show. Both events will be streamed live on IndyCar.com. Huntington Beach, California-based Dirty Heads will perform, believe it or not. So it's very, very, very cool. I think it's very cool, by the way, that less than 24 hours after they crown the champion, they're going to be honoring them at a dinner, not like NASCAR where they wait, you know, a month and a half or whatever it is. They just go, which is very cool. It's very important to actually just have your downtime. IndyCar gets that. NASCAR, they think, oh, you can go ahead and you can race all year, and then you can have less than a month off in December, and that's okay. We're NASCAR. Deal with it. Speaking of NASCAR, I don't mean to jump around here, but they did release their 2015 schedules, and I gotta ask, what the hell was Brian France smoking when he came up with this schedule? Earlier this year, he said, well, well, excuse me, that's not what he sounds like. He sounds like this. Well, y'all, we're going to go ahead and we're going to revamp that there schedule, and, it's going to be great, y'all. We're going to, we're gonna have a whole new look, and we're gonna have meetings and totally revamp the look of the schedule. It's basically what Brian France said. That's you know, obviously not the actual audio. That's just you know, me putting it into what he actually meant, words. He stutters a lot. He says the word a lot. I've never, ever, ever heard anybody who's in a sense of power use the word so many times in a press conference. Dude, you know what you're talking about. Say what you're going to say. Quit trying to put the big fancy words in there. 'Cause your brain can't keep up. Obviously. His brain doesn't work. And it clearly doesn't work because less than a month after he came out and said, well, we're going to revamp the schedule, he came out and said, don't expect a whole lot of changes. And then the schedule came out yesterday. They announced it on Fox Sports 1's NASCAR Race Hub program, which, by the way, classy NASCAR, very classy. Announce it on TV. Awesome. Not a press conference, not a live press conference, but just go ahead and give it to the TV network and have them unveil it when they see fit. Awesome. Awesome. And basically the big changes is there was a three-way swap with a number of different racetracks, which include moving the Atlanta race to the second race of the year after the Daytona 500, to also moving the Bristol race from the month of March, typically the fourth race or so, fourth or fifth race, moving it into the middle of April for weather issues, moving Darlington back to its traditional Labor Day weekend. That is huge. That's the best thing of the schedule, frankly, but that's just correcting a problem they created 10 years ago. Literally, 2004 was the last time the Southern 500 raced on Labor Day weekend, its traditional spot, which, you know, no big deal. They've only been racing at Darlington during Labor Day weekend for the better part of, well, they started in 1950, and the first year Brian France was there, he said, no, that's stupid. Let me go ahead and just ruin that. And then they moved it to May. Awesome. Brian, awesome move. Awesome. Awesome. I'll take away a race date, and I'll say screw it to a race tradition that's been active since the year 1950. Awesome. Literally, a 54-year tradition. No big deal, though. Screw it. Right, Brian? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. My daddy didn't start NASCAR, but he took it over from his daddy who started NASCAR, and I own it. I run it. I'm Brian France, y'all. I love me some NASCAR. I love it. I hate that man so much, if it isn't obvious. Seriously, NASCAR had an opportunity here to really revamp the schedule, to say, hey, we have a new broadcast partner. Hey, we have this brand new TV contract. Hey, we have this new chase format. We'll redo the last 10 races at least. That way it's a very diverse collection of racetracks and not just a mile and a half every 3 races. No, that wasn't excuse enough. NASCAR said, nah. Let's just go ahead and keep racing the way we were. Let's just move these 3 races around. That'll do. Yeah. This seriously is probably the worst schedule that NASCAR's ever put out. They corrected a 10-year wrong that Brian France did 10 years ago. He basically corrected a problem, and it only took 10 years of people griping and complaining in order for him to actually do something about it. Awesome. And he basically just said, you know what? Screw it, NASCAR and media world and NASCAR Nation and the media circus. Screw you. I don't think you need to go home in the month of March. Seriously. I'm based here in Southern California, so the fact that they're going to spend 3 weeks out here on the West Coast, at Las Vegas 1 week, Phoenix the next, and then the Auto Club Speedway in California the next, that works out great for me. It essentially means in the month of March, I am busy. Leave me alone in March, because I'm going to be at the racetrack every single weekend. That's fine. But what it basically told the media members who were based out of the East Coast, basically told them, you know, travel budget, you know, personal life, you know, social life, you know, professional life. You don't need any of those. Just screw them all. You're basically going to live on the other side of the country for a month. That's what he said. And the fact that NASCAR is playing it up like, well, we're going to be in our West Coast swing and you're going to love it because the race fans can buy tickets to all 3 of those races and go to all 3 of the West Coast races and spend a month in the West Coast in that area. And it's going to be great. Guys, this is the real world calling. People don't have extra money lying around anymore like they used to 10 years ago. They kind of have been penny pitching ever since this whole, you know, recession thing. So they don't go to a whole lot of races anymore. Yeah, not a whole lot of races anymore. In case you haven't noticed by your ticket sales that you're keeping hush-hush even though we can physically see only 3 people in the stands at most big races, Brickyard 400. And somehow you think that the average race fan who lives on the East Coast is going to be able to afford tickets to 3 races and missing a month of work and living on the other side of the country for a month. You think that's a good idea? What are you smoking in that meeting? Seriously, I'm literally not kidding. What is in the fruit punch bowl in those NASCAR meetings? Whoever said, hey, NASCAR, let's do this, and we'll tell the media it's a good thing. It's a destination. They can have fun at the racetrack. They can make a vacation out of it. They're going to love it. Might actually be the stupidest human being on the face of the planet. Think about it. Think about it. Those changes happen, and then another worse. This is even worse, I think, than this awesome big change year. I think the worst thing is the fact that they moved the race in Daytona on the 4th of July from Saturday night to Sunday night. Because the 4th of July falls on a Saturday this year, so instead of making people, watch the race on Saturday night because most places in the city can't actually use fireworks because of fire laws, so there's nothing to do on the 4th of July anyway, instead of, basically doing nothing on the 4th of July for some city people who live in the city, except for watching NASCAR, we'll say no, you can go ahead and you can watch your fireworks shows on TV on Saturday night, Sunday night. Yes, stay up very, very, very late and watch a Sunday night race because it's not like you have to be at work on Monday. Oh, wait a minute, you do have to be at work on Monday. Well then, it's not like we needed TV ratings and needed ticket sales for that Daytona race to work, was it? Credit to Daytona, they're excited about it because they're actually going to have all of their old and current seats out of the facility, and they're going to actually have more seats available on the front stretch that are going to be 100% new, so anyone who goes to the 4th of July Daytona NASCAR race in 2015 will be sitting in a brand new seat that has never seen a race in 2015 or ever at the Daytona International Speedway. That's great and cool for them. Congratulations. However, move it back to Saturday. Nobody is going to stay up late on Sunday night to watch this race when it basically doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, I said it. It doesn't matter. Whoever wins the race will probably have already won a race, which means they're probably already in the chase. And if somehow somebody pulls off an Eric Amarola, then guess what? Congratulations to them. I'll watch the highlights on SportsCenter on Monday because I have to go to work on Monday. I don't get to just stay up all night and watch NASCAR racing and then deal with the consequences the next day. I'm not calling in sick to my job because NASCAR's on. Sorry. Diehards might be able to get away with that, but most people in this country have to work a 9 to 5, and Monday's a work day. Monday is not a school day. It's the middle of the summer for kids as well, but college is definitely in session for their intersessions as well, so colleges are in session too. Good job, NASCAR. That's an excellent deduction there. Another big announcement is the fact that NBC Sports Network is also going to be having upwards of half of the chase and half of their races on that network and not on NBC. What's very interesting is the simple fact that NBC, the network, will be carrying the nationwide race on Saturday, but on Sunday, the Brickyard 400, that'll be on NBC Sports Network. I really hope you have that channel, because if you don't have that channel, you're not going to watch a whole lot of Cup races this year. Half of the races that NBC is carrying and the second half of the season next year going to be on NBC Sports Network. Really hope you have that channel. And a good chunk, I think it's 6 or 7 races, are going to be carried on Fox Sports 1 for the first half of the Fox coverage in NASCAR. That means roughly 1/3 of the points-paying races in NASCAR are going to be on a cable channel that, frankly, a lot of people don't have. Good luck. It's not like NASCAR is streaming these online. Oh, wait, they aren't. Damn. Good job, NASCAR. There are so many decisions backwards. The only good decision is obviously Darlington getting its Labor Day race back. Congratulations. Fixing a 10-year wrong. And the fact that they're moving Bristol out of March and into April, out of a time in which snow is an issue in Bristol, to when rain is still an issue, but the summer is starting to creep in, kind of, sort of, maybe not really. It's still an issue, not going to lie. Rain is still going to be an issue at Bristol in April. However, snow's not going to be an issue. Good job, NASCAR. It's not like there's 16 drivers who are trying to win a race. Oh, wait. Yeah. looking at it now, the chase grid after 24 of the 26 mind-grueling, mind-numbing, repetitive, oh my god, is it over yet season, is Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Keselowski, Logano, Johnson, Harvick, Edwards, Busch, Hamlin, Allmendinger, Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola, in that order. All 12 have actually clinched a spot in the chase. 2 races to go. Those 12 drivers are in the chase. Therefore, they don't actually have to care about these next 2 weeks. It's more or less vacation time for them. However, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer, Greg Biffle are the other drivers, the other 5 drivers who are in the inside, looking inside at the other drivers. Those guys are qualified. You have Larson, Kane, Dillon, and Menard all inside the top 20, but they are not in the chase right now. Let me ask you this, and I asked this question on Monday's Pit Pass. This is a serious question. Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer, Greg Biffle, Kyle Larson, Casey Kane, Austin Dillon, Paul Menard, none of which who have won a race, none of which have a whole lot of top 5s or top 10s, yet somehow we are seriously talking about them making the chase and contending for this championship. Is that right? Is that just crazy, or is it just me? I mean, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer, Greg Biffle. Are any of those drivers honestly going to contend for the championship? Are any of them actually going to have anything under the hood when it comes time to win this championship? I mean, seriously, Kenseth has been completely off the island all season long. Ryan Newman, I think, might be on another planet. He's so bad. Bowyer has been wrecking race cars and having mechanical issues and handling issues. And Biffle, I'm pretty sure, is on the other planet with Newman. Larson has had a decent rookie year so far, but he's not there. He has issues. He's crashed, or he's had issues, or not there. Casey Kane, his 3 teammates each have 3 wins. He can't get 1. And he doesn't have a whole lot of top 5s to back it up. Austin Dillon is having the rookie year from hell, I think. But don't worry, he deserves to drive the 3 car. He's going to put that 3 car back in victory lane after he gets one of his 27 laps back from Bristol that he kept losing because he couldn't figure out the handling. And his teammate Paul Menard is seriously getting the scraps from Austin because nobody, let's be honest, all the equipment, all the resources, all the time, money, and energy are going into the Austin Dillon 3-car program at RCR, therefore leaving the 31 of Newman and the 27 of Menard in the gutter and not really paying attention to them. But don't worry, I won't tell that to RC because I still need a paycheck, said Ryan Newman and Paul Menard. Actually, Paul Menard is paying for his own right to be there. He's one of those pay-to-race guys because his daddy sponsors him, so he's paying for his ride there. So really, it's just Newman who has to watch his mouth because that's the only other real car at RCR. Paul Menard's basically just renting equipment, personnel, space, a name, and a driver's seat from RCR. Not that it matters because, you know, they can't figure out their program anyway. Yeah, I said it. Now what? You don't like it? Make it bite me. I don't care. We will, I promise in this last segment, I'm going to get to the Twitter and Facebook comments and emails and stuff as well. Again, the phone number, like I said, I didn't think we were going to use it today, not because we're not getting calls, but because, frankly, we take relevant calls. So if you call, have something good to say. The phone number is 720-600-RACE. That is 720-600-7223. Standard messaging and phone rates apply for the area. Keep that in mind. Now, on that note, we're going to go ahead and step aside for the very final time here on ARN on this Wacky Wednesday, getting you ready for the IndyCar World Championship this weekend out at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Do me a favor, don't go anywhere. Final segment coming up next right here on ARN. You're shifting gears.
This is ARN, the American Racing Network.
I'm not sure if you know, but a lot of people are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if I'm speaking a foreign language to you right now, don't worry.
A lot of people have trouble with it, but you should not be one of them. If you're looking to get your business online, and if you're looking to build a stronger web presence online in order to build more customers and to sell more product, log on to ApolloAesthetics.com. Not only will they help build a brand new custom website for you, but they'll help set you up with Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts in order to build your customer base and get your product out there for people to see. Everyone's online and everyone has a smartphone. Does that free custom website that you can build really work on an iPod or an iPad? Well, Apollo Aesthetics build websites that not only are capable of working, but work with all kinds of smartphones and mobile devices. Log on to ApolloAesthetics.com not only to see all the services that they offer, but to request a quote to get your business online today. It's ApolloAesthetics.com.
Army Specialist Andrew Pike became paralyzed while serving in Iraq.
My injury was a gunshot wound to the left abdomen from a sniper. My first contact with paralyzed veterans was in Walter Reed.
Paralyzed Veterans National Service Officer Michael Killen.
We try to reassure them what benefits are out there, try to educate them and take some of that stress away from them.
Right now I'm going back to school to earn a degree, and I'm just spending time with my wife and child.
You can help our paralyzed veterans. Visit pva.org.
That last apartment looked more like a tool shed.
That's because it was a tool shed, dear. I thought I'd show you the less than desirable apartments first because your credit is less than acceptable. But no worries, plenty of apartments. Let's try this one.
It's a broom closet.
Don't be silly, dear. It was a broom closet. Now it's apartment 3AA.
Potential landlords can and will check your credit before giving you a lease. Don't let your credit put you in a bad place. Go to controlyourcredit.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Treasury and the Ad Council.
Shifting Gears on ARN is presented by Stash Feed. Get the feed. Log on to StashFeed.com, your daily manly feed. Your Shifting Gears on ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Here's Alan Bailey.
At the Alan Bailey on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, you can use the hashtag ARNRace to get in on this conversation, where you can send me little nuggets of goodness, like this gem. Alan, you mad, bro? Hashtag Chase Chat. Yeah, I am actually, now that you mention it. I hate this new Chase. On paper, I thought it would be spectacular because you're going to take something that, frankly, lost its luster 5 years ago and make it exciting again. I thought it would be exciting, and I think once we're in the Chase, it'll be exciting. However, looking at it now, with 2 races to go, usually we were talking about, ooh, the hype. Ooh, there are guys like Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, A.J. Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick. Are they going to make the Chase? They're 6th through 12th right now. Who's making the Chase? That's what we normally would talk about around this time. All those drivers, they've clinched a spot. They're in. They can go out and they can wreck and finish 43rd for the next 2 races, and it doesn't matter. They're in the Chase. Guys like Kenseth, Newman, Bowyer, and Biffle are the ones who we're talking about. Will they make the Chase? And I gotta say, who the hell cares? If you're a Kenseth, Newman, Bowyer, Biffle, Larson, Kane, Dillon, Menard fan, then yeah, I would care. But frankly, as somebody who reports on this, who watches this, who's watched probably more racing than he has slept in the last 2 years combined, but I really don't care. Like, I don't. Because frankly, to me, the 4 guys to beat in 2014, Gordon, Earnhardt, Keselowski, Bowyer, maybe Harvick, maybe Johnson if they can get their stuff together. Those 6 drivers are going to, from those 6 drivers, our champion for 2014 will come. Those 6 drivers, Gordon, Earnhardt, Keselowski, Logano, Johnson, and Harvick. Edwards, not a chance in hell. Kyle Busch, not a chance in hell. Denny Hamlin, nope. Allmendinger, I'd love it, but no. Kurt Busch, no. Eric Almirola, hell no. I don't mean to be cruel. I don't mean to be disheartening. I don't mean to shatter the hopes and dreams of those respected teams. They honestly are fine teams. I'm just saying the consistency is not there. The power is not there. And nobody's going to beat Gordon, Earnhardt, Keselowski, Logano, Johnson, and Harvick. outside of the top 6. Truly, those 6 drivers are the ones. If you got to pick 2 that really I don't think will be there, it's Johnson and Harvick. But if right now on August 27th, 2014, I'm picking what that final race in Homestead will look like, I'm picking Gordon, Earnhardt, Keselowski, Logano for the championship. Those 4 drivers, those 2 power teams, will win the championship. I'm sorry, it's either going to be a car with a 2 in it, with the 2 or the 22 from Penske, a Ford, winning the championship at the end of the year, or it's going to be one of the Hendrick Chevys with Gordon or Earnhardt. I truly think that. Personally, I want to see Earnhardt win it. Not because I'm, ooh, Junior Nation, woo, but because I want to see Steve Letarte end his NASCAR career with a championship and slide into that NBC Sports Network broadcast booth knowing, hey, I'm a championship-winning crew chief. That would be extraordinarily cool, not only for NBC, but for Steve Letarte and his career and his legacy, quote-unquote. That would be epic, in a word. Will it happen? I truly don't know. I can hope, but I really, really, really don't know, truth be told. But I'll tell you, a guy can hope. A guy can think, well, maybe this is a possibility. Now, want to remind you, you can check out the post-race show post-MAV TV 500 out at the Auto Club Speedway. We're going to be going live Saturday night after the championship. The champion is crowned in IndyCar this weekend. Buy your tickets, AutoClubSpeedway.com, for this Saturday night's race. For everybody here at Shifting Gears and the American Racing Network, I'm Alan Bailey. See ya at the track. Good luck for the drivers this weekend.
Check out ARNrace.com to keep up with the latest news, photos, podcasts, and interviews from the track. You've been Shifting Gears on ARN, the American Racing Network.